Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the git clone command to copy the files from our master repositories in cs107 into your own directories so that you are able to do your assignments. What we're actually using is a program called Git, and it is a version control system that you may or may not have heard of before or used before. But what it allows you to do is keep a set of files in one place and then copy them to another computer and work on them. And it's actually a very important tool in software engineering. And you'll use Git for other classes here at Stanford and in the real world. Or you'll use some other kind of version control system. And it actually allows you to keep copies of your files in progress as well, which is somewhat nice too. But what you can think of this as doing is kind of the same as the starter files for cs106A or cs106B, except instead of downloading a starters file, zip file onto your own computer, you're going to be working on the MIF computer, and you're going to be copying the files into a directory that you can use. So let me show you how it works. We are going to, first things first, I'm logged on to MIF, and what we're going to do is we're going to first create a make dir cs107 directory like that, and then I'm going to change into it 107, and you'll only have to do that once at the beginning of the quarter. You'll never have to create this file again. You'll always just change into it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to call this clone command, and what you do is you say git clone and then this big long path afs/afs/ir/class/cs107 /repos, as in repositories, /assign0 $uppercase USER, and then assign0, which is the folder that it's going to create. So when I do this, if all works well, it will say cloning into assign0 and then done. And now if we look, we've got an assign0, and we can change into it like that. All right, by the way, if you want to see what that $user actually stands for, you can do echo $user like that, and it will say your username. So kind of a command that you can take a look at. All right, so now that you have the files there, this is basically all your starter code. There's not much starter code for assignment 0, but the first thing you might want to do is just look at the readme.txt file, which I'll open up in Vim, and it's got some details in there that you can take a look at. And you're going to be able to use the go to the assignment 0 web page, and you'll find all the details about what you have to add to this file and so forth. And you'll also notice there's a samples directory in here, and if we do ls-al, you'll notice that the samples directory is a symbolic link, which is handled in a different video. You don't need to worry too much about that, except to say that if you do cd samples, you're now inside this folder. As it turns out, it's the same exact folder, and you won't be able to access those files because they're read-only to you. But those are the files that you're going to use for assignment 0. So sometimes we'll give you a samples folder that will have extra information that the entire class will share, and so that we don't have to make multiple copies of those individual files. Okay, so that's how you do the git clone to actually to get the assignment into your own directory. And then you can write the assignment, and then at the end, when you're going to want to submit it, there's going to be two other commands that you're going to want to run. The first is something that you don't have to wait until you're ready to submit. You can run this at any time, and it's called sanitycheck. And if you'll notice, there's also a tools directory in here, which is where sanitycheck lives. And if you are in your assignment directory, you can just type tools/sanitycheck. And what that does is it will run a program that checks your program or your submission for whether or not it's correct enough to actually be graded. It's not doing the grading, but sometimes it will run tests that you can see if it's actually going to pass some of those tests. But it's the big deal is the big idea is it's running a program that will say, hey, we will accept your submission. In other words, if your program doesn't compile, sanitycheck will fail and you won't be able to submit. Or you will be able to submit, but it's not recommended. Okay, so if I run sanity check right now and I haven't done anything in this assignment yet, what it says is it's running some test here, and then it says that the file, verify the file has changed. Well, I didn't change anything yet, so it's going to say, nope, not okay. Okay, so it actually didn't change that. Now, all I need to do, as it turns out, is change something. So I can say Chris Gregg and then write that to the file. And then if I run sanity check again, watch this. It says, let's see. Oh, I didn't change enough. I probably didn't change enough. So let me just do this. Let's paste my name 100 times in here. not that you want to do that for your assignment, but let's see if sanity check works now. Nope, still might not be enough changes. So we'll look into that and make sure it's working. But anyway, the point is that you can run sanity check and it will tell you how you're progressing on an assignment and whether or not it's ready to be submitted as far as we're concerned. Again, it doesn't do the grading for you, but it can give you a lot of information about how you're progressing as you're going along. Okay, so once you run sanity check and you've decided that, yep, I want to submit this assignment, you can actually type tools/submit, and again, you have to be in the assignment folder to run this, and it will say this tool submits the repo in the current directory, and it says, would you like to run sanity check? You might as well, right? And then it's going to say, in my case, hey, it didn't pass, do you really want to continue? And if I say yes, it will try to continue. And then in this case, we haven't set the actual deadline, so it didn't submit anything. But it's pretty easy to follow the instructions for this submit. But that's how you actually submit the assignment. And you should make sure that you get confirmation that your assignment has been submitted before you are done with the assignment. And you definitely want to do it before the deadline, because we generally don't accept assignments after the deadline. So unless you talk to us specifically about some exception. So anyway, those are the three commands you're going to need to know, the git clone command and the sanity check and the submit command. Thanks.